So the fastest growing market is AI, data centers. We see quantum growing really fast, but definitely seeing increased spending in defense by the US government. And one of the stocks that we've been covering here back since a dollar that's recently started to consolidate at a top since about July from left to right is BigBear.AI. So BigBear.AI is a stock that has a primary focus on technology for the TSA entries and exits into the USA, as well as border protections and homeland security. They have this technology that has been rapidly deploying into new places all over the US. Someone just commented the other day, they said, they said these people that have these sponsored videos. And I thought, it's funny, no one was saying that when we were covering the stock at a dollar. It's when we get up into the $8, $10, then there's 100 different channels that are covering it. Not that we weren't the only one covering at a dollar. There's definitely others that were doing analysis of it. But what I mean is, I'm not sponsoring this video. I'm going to give you guys the breakdown of what we see as far as facts. We know that there's been a lot of deployment of their technology into new places here. And you guys could hear maybe some more echo around. It's because we recently have been moving things around behind, getting the place dialed in as the fridge came yesterday. And Denver International Airports, JFK, Los Angeles, Montreal, Chicago, we've seen them deploy into a lot of these places, and it is their new technology that we are seeing firsthand. Now, the unique thing that we're watching here with their growth, let's take a look at the current levels, see where they're at. We know that the last time they surged from November up until February at that $10 price point was when they then had a really nice run. A lot of things not really tied to their growth, but seeing some good contracts roll in. On this run, they made a $160 million contract that was with Army that they secured. And then you had the rejection happen in February. The whole market really sold off in February. And maybe they're not an AMD play or an NVIDIA play when it comes to the powerhouse of their AI. Or maybe they're not, as prominent as, Palantir or something. Or Leidos, for example. You guys know those machines that you get scanned like this at the airport and it goes whoom, and it scans you? That's Leidos. And they're one of the main competitors of BigBear. But they might not be $20 billion market cap. They might not be as big, even though they are Big Bear. Some could call them Big Brother, as they're developing technology that's highly surveillance, AI analytics, and it's very powerful technology. The revenue is still starting to see some growth year over year. You see a little bit of a growth here into the year over year. Every single year they've gone up. The net income did go down there. Part of that big net income drop, we see their balance sheet get cleaned up. And so we know while quarterly they've had revenue drop just a tad in the last quarter, August 11th, their new reports is going to shed light on the balance sheet. You got total assets at 396 million, while total liabilities are at 198 million. So really good to see. They have more money, more cash than they do liabilities. And that wasn't always the case. In fact, the quarter before, they were more liabilities than assets. So they cut down, they became more disciplined. Now, we've seen a lot of influx of institutions, right? We got the Citigroup for sure, but you got AE Industrials, BlackRock, a lot more increased positions than decreased positions. Now, what do you need to watch out for? I would say the number one thing we're seeing here, we get up into this range, we get rejected once at 872, we see it sell back down and start kind of a bear trend before breaking out of it. Same thing here, we saw a bear trend kind of break out of it, and it still got rejected basically 3 times at this $8.50 price point. So what we're looking at with Big Bear now is kind of this support level for it to hold potentially above 750. That's what we were talking about over the past few days when it broke out here. And potentially this 8% continuation up into this range at about $8.50. Now we have long-term positions we're holding in Big Bear. As far as short-term, we did have some good trades on Big Bear. We traded this swing right here, actually, which was quite profitable. Aside from that, speaking of trades, we had one that did not go good recently, which was Tesla. Oh my gosh, Tesla dropped about 18%. We're down about 14%. It's okay. We're going for about 40%. So that's sometimes the risk you got to manage. We'll see if any recovery happens, but it's recovered a little bit since the dip today, but really not looking too good there. Uh, Percentage wise, probably our biggest loss we've seen in the entire year for sure. Dollar amount wise, definitely not the biggest loss. I think it's about like 2,000 or 3,000 down right now, but it's definitely not. It's definitely not all bad. Portfolio still managing to hold positive. I think it's AMD. I think it's APLD. And we saw a rally there on Rigetti recently too, which has been good. So it's not all bad, right? But anyway, BigBear.AI, you see this move here. We're watching the $7.50 range. If it can push up to that 850, that's the next bullish target. But outside of that bullish target, we're also looking to see if that can continue, because they do have their earnings. They don't have any big catalysts. Mind you, it's important to note while their employees are reflective of their market cap, I think it's pretty well into that $2 billion market cap, which is good. You know, the revenue has been okay. You know, see about 150 million a year, but really that net income, we're looking for that rise. Now, the thesis here is that Kevin McAleenan, the new CEO, has aggressively been deploying into a lot of the different departments he used to work in. So he was the acting secretary of U.S. Department of Homeland Security. So the thesis here is that ahead of the 2025 World Cup, or 2026, that's a lot of immigrants coming. It's a lot of visitors, a lot of people coming in the U.S. And TSA has said that they plan to expand some of their data. So that's where the VeriScan comes in. Not only are they with TSA, but they're going directly to the airlines as well to deploy many of these scanners at the airport gates. So that's really good for them. Now, we're going to watch these levels with Big Bear. Comment your thoughts down below on what you see with the company. I think with the World Cup coming, with the Olympics coming up, they're very well positioned, and this aggressive expansion is most likely going to serve them well. And the other thing that happened recently that we just saw is that the news and events, the different airports that they've been getting put into and deployed into, is still not congruent with the amount of airports we're seeing. I get a lot of comments from people that say, hey, I just saw Big Bear over here. I just saw it over here. And it's at these airports that are not listed here. And that's exactly what happened before this article came out on June 17th. There was a lot of articles coming out. They were saying Big Bear's here, Big Bear's there, but they didn't announce anything publicly from the company. Now, we only consider directly from the company usually, unless we see it firsthand or we get a lot of undeniable proof, because there's a lot of hype articles and fake articles. But when it comes to the growth of the company, I can confidently say these airports they have listed, there are more than just these, because I do have some other proof that has shown more airports than that. So we'll be watching it. If you guys want to join us in our daily live trading, portfolio is up about 0.9%, which is amazing considering that TSLL dip that we had, thanks AMD. And so if you guys ever want to watch us trade, we do have here for the Stockmates earnings that came out. So we got some earnings yesterday. Alphabet coming in good. IBM, Tesla came in under. We got today after hours Intel. If you ever want these targets, knowing when companies are reporting exactly the targets for them, as well as our daily live trading sessions every single morning at market open, it's the second link in the description. And did I mention I'll send you a free t-shirt? I would love to shoot it over to you anywhere in the world. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed. If I earned your thumbs up, smash the like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.